Hey guys, it's me, ya boy, Seth, your host and DM for the D20 Syndicate podcast. In next week's episode, we'll be taking a brief sojourn away from the events the Wolves of Moonreach are currently embroiled in within Valtel to show you a small window into elsewhere in the world. It'll be a part of our two-part Halloween spooptacular, so stick around and enjoy the ride as we peer into the nation of Starstrom as a group of rough and grim-featured adventurers pursue some nefarious purpose that will have far-reaching effects in the rest of the world. So sit back, uncork a bottle of your finest humble brew, and listen in next week for this special two-part event. Until then, have a happy Halloween and keep tuning in to the D20 Syndicate podcast, where we go on adventures so you don't have to.
Previously on the Lineage of Moonreach. So we were in the bag, and then we saw Gorbel's mom. It was crazy. She took us on a memory journey. We saw, like, everyone else's dads and moms. But I mean dads, because Gorbel's dad was there. That was wild. And then we went to this flowery place, which apparently that's where they went to before with the people on the vines and stuff. And, Gorbel's dad turned into a baby? That's throwing me off still. Anyway, so we came out of the bag and we're with Tomar. Tomar told us what happened with him, which was wild. And then we went to the Soul Forge and Tomar found out more about Gorbel's sword. And then Gorbel tried to bond with her sword, and I don't think it went very well. And yeah, I painted that gold sword that Gorbel's dad had. And I don't know what's going on with Willem.
The D20 Syndicate presents The Lineage of Moonreach. Welcome back to the D20 Syndicate podcast.
Hey, baby, hey.
A weekly Dungeons & Dragons 5e actual play podcast. I am your host and DM, Seth, and around the table of the internet, we have our players.
I'm Billy, and I play Willem.
I'm your host and DM, Tomas.
Who do you play?
The DM. I play Seth. Did you not hear my perfect recreation of Dildane in the last episode?
Has that been you the whole time?
Yeah.
My friends!
Oh my god.
Let's go bowling!
I thought that was Seth. Just like
That fell apart real quick.
I got my D20 back.
I'm Lindsey, and I play Pinwin.
And I'm Michaela, and I play Gorbel.
That's right. Each week we record for your listening pleasure. This is episode 111.
When I edit this episode,
Yes. Whoa, we're 3-1.
When I edit this episode, I'm going to take a clip of Seth actually saying the Dildane line, and I'm putting it in. Then they'll be like,
My
whoa,
friends!
he's so good.
Here you go. My friends!
Thanks, buddy.
Now say the let's go bowling part.
Let's go bowling!
Wow, we're 1-1-1.
That didn't sound like him.
No, that sounded way too
I like
jovial
Tomas's Dildane better.
and- Yeah, let's switch back to Tomas
new
DMing.
Dildane.
Would you like to go bowling?
I hate to say it, but I like his better.
Suck it. I know Dildane better than you. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, this is off the
He just
rails now,
quits.
and I'm sad. Anyway, good night.
DM Tomas, what happens next?
We all win.
Oh, cool.
We just won. Everyone
That feels-
survived.
Billy, cool.
Cool.
It was super
That
epic.
feels good.
Lots of shows on fire except us.
That feels earned.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway,
Now it's time for tonight's Around the Campfire question.
Yes.
Cha-cha! Cha-cha!
There's a karate bird out there.
Cha-chop! Cha-chop!
Cha-cha! All right, what I'm going to do
Wait, I'm
is
gonna
eat.
Shit. Fari. I said Fari.
It's Karma
Fucking
Chameleon.
up real hard.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys.
It was like your Uncle Fari.
Please don't sully his reputation.
Sorry.
I'm Fori with a U.
Sorry, I won't do it again.
Oh, I love it.
I'm so
This is so
Fori.
far out of line.
Please, Fari, give me.
That's why it's Fori. question. Forgiveness.
I'm trying, but everybody's...
Ask
My
me the
favorite
question before I
80s
die.
actor, Forey Keldman.
I'm sorry, Seth.
I just love hanging
right.
out with you guys. I get a real euphoric experience out of it.
That's enough.
Sorry. Sorry.
Forey, the last time, shut the Forey up.
Too much.
All right. So what I'm going to do for this around the campfire is I'm going to give each of you a word, and you're going to tell me whether it's a person, place, thing, spell, anything like that.
Then do we have to tell you what it is?
Yep.
I love it. It sounds fun.
So
Okay.
you're going to be required to think on your toes.
Also, Seth,
right,
I just
so
thought of
first-
a way. I'm
Nope.
sorry.
No. Nope.
I just
Shut-
thought of a
shut-
way you
shut
can
up.
end our campaign. We
Oh,
go
no,
to do the
I don't need that.
campfire question, and it just
Oh, no,
consumes
I don't
us.
need that.
Like we like I don't know. We made too big of a fire.
I reject your hypothesis.
What?
Anyway, here you go. So first and foremost, we're going with Tomar. Your word is night oak. Tell me what night oak is.
Oh, that's when you're mid slumber and you have a really sexy dream, and your boner raises you up from the bed because you're sleeping on your tongue. Night oak.
Some people think it's a
Noun.
levitation spell.
It's not.
No.
Well, in a way, it is.
Could you use it in a sentence, please?
I was sleeping in bed and my night oak snapped off, and I had to go to the hospital.
You had to
Night
go
oak.
to the healer.
Night oak.
Noun.
N-I-G-H.
Well, now our
Sorry. I forgot if this is a spelling bee. A, B, C, D.
Twinkle,
piece of
twinkle, little star. No, really, it is a spell, a defensive spell that wizards cast.
Wait, I'm sorry. I was laughing and we're on the same track. Okay, go.
It's okay if you're laughing.
No, redo
It's
it.
okay if we have fun on this show.
That poor
No,
kid
edit
that
out all the
listens
fun.
to us
I'm not
will
even-
never be able to listen to us legally.
Screw that little kid. It's marked explicit. That's the parents'
Little
problem.
kids know what night oak is.
Yeah.
Well, I think I was in second grade.
When you got
Boys
your
been
first
talking
night
about
oak.
that shit.
I'll never forget my first night oak.
Now I'm confused about what night oaks are.
Snap
Anyway,
that shit right off.
it's a
All right, what is night oak?
It's a defensive spell. It's used both for obscuring and for defense. Like a wizard can pull a dark tree out of the ground, either to defend against an incoming attack, or they can build little trees around within a forest to help obscure themselves. Night oak.
N-I-G-H. Okay, sweet. I like that a lot. All right, Willem, yours is Dust Pike.
Dust Pike is a saloon that is in Mirenlug. It is at the top of the highest mountain in Mirenlug and overlooks the sea. It's particularly known because it's kind of an oxymoron, because it's a famous saloon that attracts patrons, but it's also famous because of how little traffic it actually gets because of how difficult it is to get to it.
Is it dusty?
It's also when you put your boner into a sand and then you have a
You guys
dust
ever
pike.
use the corner attachment?
Very nice. I like both of those so far. All right, Pinwin, tell me what Silver Song is.
I know that guy.
Well, tell me about him.
Silver Song?
Mm.
I
That
can't tell if that's a positive groan or
Not a
negative.
positive.
Oh, okay.
That Silver Song. Ooh, he is so.
Still can't tell.
Okay, so there would be so many times where I'd have a great show at like a venue we'd go to or something, or like me and my family or something, or I don't know. And the Silver Song would always come up, and then he'd take the limelight, and then people would forget I was there. And Silver Song.
What did he play? Spoons.
The trombone.
His band, the Silver Song Pickups, were really popular.
They weren't even good.
They just did shitty covers and left out the complicated parts.
Silver
Was that his
Song.
stage name, or was that his last name?
Keith
or?
Silversong.
I never cared to find out.
Nice
Fair.
Oh,
Fair.
how dare
All
you
right.
bring up Silver Song? I forgot about him. How'd you know?
All right, Gorbel, tell me what Star Blood is.
Oh. Starblood is a shot.
Is that what you gave me that one time?
No, because I will never, ever drink it again, and I would never put you through that.
Yikes.
The last time,
Wow.
and the only time I had Starblood, that's what you said, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry, was, gosh, 8, 9, 10 years ago? I don't know. I feel like I was in a complete daze after that for a while. It was awful. It's red in color, and I don't know how it gets that way. It's thick. It's kind of viscous. It just kind of like, it's slimy. It's gross. People seem to love it, but I woke up in the woods a few days later and I vowed never to do it again. I was sober for a week after that.
It was Robitussin.
Yeah, my cold cleared up though.
Gorbel out in the woods robo-tripping.
Yeah.
All right, very nice. Thanks, guys. All right, shall we get started?
Yeah. We should add those spells to D&D Beyond.
The
It's a
one
shot.
spell.
No, Billy. Oh, wait, never mind. Yeah. Sorry.
Where
it.
were you?
Damn it.
Bad
Get your
listener.
head out of the trombone.
Yeah,
Tromboner.
Silver
There's too much bones happening.
Gosh.
Honestly, Michaela, hats off to you for not even venturing into the low-hanging fruit that was Star Blood.
Yeah, that could have been a lot of things.
I don't know what would it
Yeah, what are you
what
talking
else
about?
would it have been? What's the bad thing?
Never mind.
What's
Got
the
a
fruit?
Star, and then you got blood, and then
Anyway, let's get started.
Are
So,
we talking about periods?
There we go. You know.
George R. R. Martin calls them moon blood
Exactly.
because you get it once a moon.
We can't think of anything to do with
Blood. Yeah.
blood. Yeah. Anyway.
That
Anatomy. Shut up.
what
It's
you were
time to
talking
start.
about.
Shut the fuck up. Welcome to Moonreach.
all right, so when we last left off, Willem, you were on the prow of the ship, staring out as 4 Valdelinian ships appeared through portals somehow, some way. Though now that you're looking at them more closely, you've had a moment to kind of look over them. You notice that they are not of the same make and variety. They seem as if they've come from different areas in Valdelin. You do recognize one of them as like being one of the big galleys from Deepminster, while several of them are smaller varieties. 2 of them are smaller, like fishing vessels, not so small as boats, but not as big as like a big warship. And so they're kind of disparate. Disparate.
They're on the water, or are these airships?
They are on the water.
What's with your hand?
But they appeared through a portal right into the lock. And so, and then you heard the war horn sound out, and things are looking a little dicey, though these ships don't appear to be drawn up.
What?
The sails are not flying.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't look like they're ready for battle, but
Okay.
it's clear that Brahm saw something that, at the very least, looked suspicious.
Shook them a little bit. What is their nautical speed?
0.
Okay. So they're not approaching threateningly, other than suddenly appearing through portals.
Correct.
The portal, does it give off a happy rainbow light, or is it a dark?
It shrieks with murderous intent as it opens.
Right. Are there fucking spooky ghosts flying out of the portal?
And then
You
out in the back.
didn't get that good of a look at them because they immediately dispersed
Ah,
with
okay.
a snap.
And they weren't like Doctor Strange portals.
Sounds like
but
ghosts.
No, they were just like
with their
transportation
sparklers.
portals. And then the soldier that was standing next to you kind of looks out and looks at you. Are those friends of yours?
I was going to ask you the same thing, Frenchie.
Frenchie.
What is this Frenchy?
Rothy. Roth 401k.
Is this some sort of planned attack? Those are Verdalinian ships, are they not?
They appear so, but they look like a hodgepodge, and they're appearing behind your caravan. It's just the one ship.
Mm-hmm, they just have the one.
It's definitely not us. From what I can tell, I don't even know who or what they're affiliated with.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion roll.
19.
He like kind of scowls at you a little bit, then looks back out. Well, if this is true, then we should go speak with the queen immediately. And he starts like marching faster towards this main cabin.
I agree. Gentlemen, Whiskers, Mirrorlook.
They follow you. Do you head towards the cabin?
As I do, I am definitely like shooting looks at the ships to see if I can see anybody on the decks and identify the ships or anybody on them.
Give me a perception check.
Why do I do this to myself? I don't know why. I think it's going to be any better.
Reliable talent?
Yeah, I mean, reliable talent's there, but it just feels like cheating at this point. 19 again.
So they're quite a ways off still. The lock is, as you can remember, extremely big. Like, for all intents and purposes, if you were to stand at the harbor of Wolves Rest, you probably can't see to the other side of the lock. It's huge. Okay. And these guys are quite a ways off. You can see the detail of the ship for the most part, but you don't see anybody clearly on the actual, like, above board on the ship. You can see that there are some forms. It's hard to tell how many or what they look like. Although, as you squint, you can see that none of them are flying Veldalinian banners.
They just look Veldalinian made.
Yeah, you recognize Veldalinian ships when you see them.
So they could definitely have been stolen.
It's, your guess is as good as mine.
That's fair.
Means DM,
Right.
That's DM for
Wouldn't
yes.
his guess be worse than yours by default?
You don't know.
Well, as DM today.
You don't know what I know.
I think you're getting a little bit too literal.
Onward.
All right.
No, I'm not.
Onward. So you watch as the kind of the captain or whatever he was. You don't recognize Rothian ranks that well. Obviously an officer of some kind pushes the door.
He's got 4 burnt baguettes on his chest.
And a single croissant on his helmet.
The
You can have a
pauldrons
point of boon for that.
Yes.
You see him push the door open, and you hear him, and you can hear some other soldiers rushing out, and you see them all of a sudden rushing out, coming over to the starboard side to look out, and one of them pops out this little periscope, is that a periscope?
Telescope?
What is the small handheld one called?
A looking
viewfinder. Yeah, a looking glass. Pops it out, little brass one, and then looks through it, and then they begin talking amongst themselves. You enter the cabin. It is huge. This is the largest cabin on a ship you've probably seen, and you've probably seen quite a few in your time, stealing from people. This is huge. It is just dripping with lush carpet, drapes just kind of hung here and there. You can see the Falcon of Rothia pretty much everywhere with the red, the red field on it. And at the far end of the room, you see it's not a throne necessarily, but it's a very nice chair, very well made. It's large and it's made of a nice dark wood, maybe a mahogany or a beechwood. You see that it's kind of well shaped. It's kind of it's a smaller representation of a throne while not being as heavy or as opulent as a throne. So you see, though, sitting in the chair is a woman, very nicely dressed, She's dripping with wealth, just like the rest of her chamber.
There's a lot of dripping happening in
Yeah,
here.
we gotta stop dripping.
It's on a boat, man. Come on.
Please respect the drip.
Yeah, respect the drip,
The
Tamar.
queen drips into the room.
Drip, drip, drip. So yeah, she's obviously extremely wealthy. She's wearing like a floor length gown that is like a baby blue color with white fringe to it. She's wearing lots of like silver jewelry. Several necklaces kind of adorn her chest. She's got like some silver bangles, silver rings. You can tell she likes the color silver. And her hair is like a very pale blonde color. And she's very, but her skin tone is like a little bit more like kind of olive complected. And she's got bright green eyes. And you
She
look
looks
at
super
her.
hot.
Yeah, you look at her, Willem, and she looks like she might be. I hear Lindsey laughing. She looks like she might be in her maybe early 50s, but she is still like, she still has the beauty of her youth. You can tell that probably when she was younger, people would have just stopped in the streets seeing her. This is one of the most attractive individuals you've ever laid eyes on, and she's just completely in control of this room. You can tell this is the queen, and she has like a contingent of armed, lightly armed guards near her. And as you enter, she just kind of like very, very softly smiles at you. Not like a huge grin, but it's not like an unkind gesture. And, but she doesn't say anything. And you watch as the captain kind of, he steps to the side, stands up straight, and he says, my queen, this is, he starts clearing his throat at you, and he's like looking at you. What is your name?
Willem Valtel.
This is, Willem Valtel of Wolf's Rest, here to parley with you. And in perfect Veldalinian common, you hear the queen's voice. You may approach, Willem.
Before I move, I would like to assess the room and either sides of the room in direct correlation to the path that I will be taking to walk closer to her.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Looking for some trappy traps or anything that looks out of the ordinary.
Willem's like the group's reliable father.
Man, he ain't my
You
dad.
can all
I don't
you
listen
can
to
always
him.
depend on him to like check the things that are like. I don't know.
I'm not a painter. I'm not a baby. I'm
I mean,
not
do you think he could have grown up to be my dad?
Oh, done.
I guess we don't know who it is. I think it could be a safe bet.
They look exactly the same.
I guess
They are the same height.
Willem is my dad.
All right.
Wow.
Well, that makes all the drinking and partying together in the tunnel really
Yes,
irresponsible
dads
of
and
me.
daughters usually just party hard and do drugs together.
So what was your perception roll?
19.
So as you look around the room, you don't see anything that resembles like a traditional trap by any means. You do see that these guards, while lightly armored, have lots of weapons at their disposal, and each of them has a very hardened look to them.
Do they have
You
thick
would've-
ass traps?
What?
And what?
Yeah, are they swole?
Oh,
Tom Hardy?
like trapezoids. Gotcha. Yeah, they're pretty. They obviously
Definitely not trapezoids.
no, they're trapezoids.
That muscle in your face. The trapezoid.
Yeah, it's the shape of your face, dipshit. No, they obviously work with the blade or their
Who
spear
are
or
you,
whatever.
Pablo Picasso? Everybody looks like a fucking trapezoid.
Yeah, they are fucking weird looking, but strong. But no, they all look like very serious contenders. If things were to get out of hand, you feel like they're nothing to scoff at for sure.
I'm
like,
picturing like the Royal Guard in like Darth Sidious's chamber or something. Those dudes in the red armor.
you can actually see these guys' face though. They're wearing like light armor for the most part because they are in a ship. It'd be really stupid
Is it
to wear
red
heavy
armor?
armor. No.
Really?
Yeah, it's just
It's not red?
It's like brown and black leather. It seems like they're not super concerned with showcasing their their colors while they're here on the ship.
Interesting. Okay. So I approach and I stop a good somewhere between 5 and 10 feet. I assume, does she have like a desk or a table in front of her, or is it just straight open space?
It's straight open space. There's a slight rise of a 2-step dais in a sense, but you could tell like they probably thought like a big dais would be dumb on a ship.
Sure. Yeah, so I stop a good 8 feet before the step up, and I do a deep bow, but I never take my eyes off of her. And as I bow and I say, Your Highness, I'd like to do an Arcana check.
Okay.
There's magic dripping from the walls.
Are you looking for anything in particular?
Well, now I am. I don't know.
Is she
To see if anything
evil?
anything looks magical?
Yeah, it's just see if anything emanates magicianry. Thank fuck for reliable talent.
Yay.
21.
You don't see anything that appears magical from your perspective as you're looking around. Nothing about her person necessarily seems magical. You do see the voice of the queen, though, standing not far from her, kind of back a little bit and just kind of like relaxed against the wall, almost as if he's just kind of like taking a break. And you know that he has some magical abilities. He seems to be like playing with something in his hand, and if you were to really look at it, it's nothing magical. It seems like he's shuffling a deck of cards.
Okay.
You may rise, Willem Valtel.
Your Highness, I know you sent emissaries ahead before to ask about an alliance between our countries, or at least between the Wolves and Rothia. We didn't exactly get all of the details of the terms. What exactly are you proposing?
I am surprised with you, Willem. You cut right to the point rather than tarry over niceties. And she kind of stares off into space. You can see that there's a window that kind of looks out over the ocean, and she seems to be staring at something out there. Are those ships out there yours?
They definitely don't belong to us. I will say they looked Valdelinian, but they weren't flying any Valdelinian colors.
You seem surprisingly calm, despite the fact that they are not yours. Are you not concerned about them?
I was at first, but then I noticed that they were Valdelinian made, and they didn't seem to be going anywhere in any particular hurry. And our meeting seemed much more pertinent than whatever it is a few skiffs have up their sleeves.
She kind of like tilts her head as just kind of a single nod and continues to stare out at the ocean.
Question.
Then she turns back to, are you for DM?
Yeah.
Okay.
The windows, are there drapes of any kind or anything like that?
Yeah, they're kind of like slightly open drapes. There's really only one window like near the front and kind of like on the side wall that peeks out over. And that's really the only window that's open enough.
It's the window
Do they
from
have, like, any-
Palpatine's chamber.
Yeah.
Stop talking about Palpatine.
I'm sorry.
She's not Palpatine, she's Padme. Are there like any heavy hanging drapes or flags maybe along the wall?
Yeah, there's a lot of those kind of hanging down.
Okay.
There's some beams that cut across. It's probably a 20-foot tall room.
As we're speaking, I'd like to silently cast Mage Hand behind one of the drapes or flags behind her, the voice of the queen.
Okay. All right, give me sleight of hand.
Okay.
Wait, is there a feature for arcane tricksters that they can do it subtly?
At will.
Oh, can you read that for me?
Sure. So, Mage Hand, cast at will, casting time, 1 action, range 30 feet, duration 1 minute. A spectral floating hand appears at a point you choose within range. The hand lasts for the duration or until you dismiss it as an action. The hand vanishes if it is ever more than 30 feet away from you or if you cast this spell again. You can use your action to control the hand. You can use the hand to manipulate an object, open an unlocked door or container, stow or retrieve an item from an open container, or pour the contents out of a vial. You can move the hand up to 30 feet each time you use it. The hand can't attack, activate magic items, or carry more than 10 pounds.
Okay. So You successfully cast that nearby a curtain without any notice.
Okay, so you can perform one of the... Okay. You can stow one object the hand is holding in a container. You can retrieve an object in a container worn or carried by another creature. You can use thieves' tools to pick locks and disarm traps at range. And then you can perform one of these tasks without being noticed by a creature if you do succeed on a sleight of hand check contested by their perception. And then you can use a bonus action to control it with your cunning.
Yeah,
action.
I rolled a natural 1 for perception. So,
Nice.
Sick.
That's why I just kind of let you do your thing.
Sweet.
So yeah, it goes unnoticed. What are you
Okay.
attempting to do with this hand?
For now, it's just hanging out.
Okay, gotcha. And she finally looks back at you. You mentioned terms. What can I more fully illuminate for you?
Well, one usually doesn't just simply propose an alliance or a team up for naught. What is it that you're hoping to gain, and what is it that you're wanting us to do with this alliance?
She kind of casts a glance over at the voice of the queen and then looks back to you. Did my voice not relay what it was that I wanted to achieve by this alliance? And he kind of steps forward. It's possible that I messed it up. There's a lot of confusion. It was a very chaotic time. And she holds her hand up. That's fine. Allow me to speak more clearly on this. I would propose this alliance in order to secure both the survival of Rothia and to benefit a ceasefire on our parts. Were the wolves, for instance, able to retain control over the armies of Valtel, I think that the wolves are the best chance in combating whatever menacing darkness approaches. And it is clear that there is something, and it is clear that the group of you, though I only see you at this moment, I assume the rest are out performing some deed or another. But I propose that because you seem to be the best suited for the job. Your stories have reached our lands. We know of you. We know of your legendary prowesses. And thus, I have reached out to you in order to secure more safety for my people and your own. We are willing to contribute up to 100,000 gold for the cause, though if you do require more, it's possible we could make that available to you. We would also allot you a number of soldiers to help you in your endeavors, not beholden to us at your will and disposal. We would like to create a much more amenable situation between our two nations, especially in such a time of turmoil. We've heard many stories about your wolves, you and the others, and what you're capable of. We do not plan on double-crossing you, if that is your concern. This is a treaty of sorts, and an alliance, as you said, but it is best for all parties involved if we work together.
What if I were to decline your monetary ransom and request something else in return for this alliance?
That is interesting. I suppose that it's always possible that we could make something else available to you. What was it that you were thinking?
I want a complete withdrawal of Rothians from Valtel in any sort of military occupancy capacity. And I would also like, instead of paying us 100,000 gold, I would like for that money to go back into Valtel as part of restoring and repairing what damage has been caused by the Rothian and Valdelinian struggle.
My dear, those terms are not necessarily sour to me. However, I do concern myself with your rejection of the money, considering where would we give the money if not to the Wolves of Moonreach? It's not as though there's a trustworthy leadership in Deepminster at the moment. If my spies and birds are to be believed, we figured if it's to be made available to Valtel, the best course of action would be to bequeath it upon you, and you may do as you see fit.
While normally we would accept it as some sort of transaction on behalf of the estate of the land of Valtel, I think it would probably be in the best interest for both parties if we involved a third party to accept the funds and disperse them as they see fit in a responsible manner. Have you heard of Eldervault?
Eldervault, yes. In Avstad, I have.
I believe that they have the means and the experience to handle this type of transaction responsibly.
If you would like the money to be set to an account in Eldervault, that is more than manageable. I do not... I suppose I should say it's not the largest concern of mine whether or not you accept it in golden chests or if you take it in credit from the Eldervault. That is your prerogative. We only want to contribute to the cause, and we know that money helps the cause, and we have the means to spare at least that much.
I assume that you've scouted Wolf's Rest before even thinking of approaching, whether by land, sea, or air. You've seen what we've managed to scrounge up just on our ideals alone. We're not exactly in the business of being mercenaries. So you would do a lot better in courting our favor, not with money, but with ideals and with these actions.
Master Valtel, I feel as though I have been remiss. I do not wish to hire you. You would not be mercenaries. The mercenaries, if you must look at it that way, would be my soldiers underneath your direction. Whether money or ideals, that is a prerogative that we can work towards, but we sincerely only wish to deal with you in hopes of friendship.
And while I appreciate that, regardless, the hierarchy being worker, taskmaster, owner, we would merely be a middleman in this type of transaction. So those are my terms, and I believe that's really all that can be said at this point. If those are acceptable, excellent. We'll move forward with forging this type of armistice. If not, I think we should probably schedule another meeting with a little bit more tact, and maybe in a more neutral location.
Well, I suppose I am confused, though perhaps it is on my own behalf. If you do not wish for monetary means to help, and you do not wish for soldiers, do you not wish to be a part of an alliance? I just am confused as to how we work together if you do not allow us to work towards the cause. And all we have to do is withdraw, which, while makes sense, doesn't exactly ensure that what you need to achieve will be achieved. And it doesn't work towards a friendship, it only creates more tension. And we would like to alleviate that tension, not increase it.
An alliance doesn't necessarily equal assimilation.
I know this. I have dealt often with alliances. Are you familiar with alliances?
I look around incredulously, like, get fucked.
I fear that perhaps this is not the best time. We can return when perhaps things are less, and she looks out the window, hairy.
We would still be working together. The withdrawal of your military capacity is our terms, though. Though that alone, on top of, if you insist upon making a monetary donation, let's say, we would accept that on behalf of, Valtel in general, but it would be dispersed to the country. It would be dispersed to the people for repairs and restoring Valtel to what it was before the Rothian occupancy. It's not...
However you see fit to
rude.
Use the coin is your prerogative, as I said. We will not control how it is used. That is up to the cause. All we know from all of our sources is that there is an existential threat to Argaria as a whole. And
if you withdraw your army from Valtel,
please do not speak
we
over
will
me.
work with you in that common goal.
You have been dismissed. And you see like the couple of soldiers step forward as if daring you to say anything else. Please, thank you for your time, Mr. Valtel, and please, we will consider your counter offer.
I dismiss my mage hand, but very loudly, so that it makes it obvious that it was there behind the curtain.
With like a crack.
Yeah, like it ruffles the curtain a little bit.
You watch the voice of the queen kind of look like shocked and then like put his hand up, dropping his cards.
Do you require any rations while you wait in the harbor?
We will not be waiting in the harbor. We will return, perhaps in a few days' time. We will
Maybe
await.
next time let us know ahead of time exactly when you'll be arriving.
You may be dismissed, Master Valtel.
You as well.
Got her.
And I turn on my heel and I look at Miraluk and Yarfrey and I just do a curt nod.
Miraluk pauses for a second and then puts a thumbs up.
And we exit the cabin.
All right. Back to Tomar. I almost called you Lindsey. Tomar, Pinwin, and Gorbel.
Yikes. That is going to be interesting news to figure out when we get back.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know, Gorbel. You may want to... I don't know about this sword. Like, I was iffy about it when I was inspecting it, but when...
Then I told you to do it.
I told you to do it, but then when that stuff just happened with the forge, I don't know.
That's just because it's a jealous forge. It said don't do it here.
Gorbel.
I could go outside and do it, and nobody would interrupt it.
You know how your mom is like the Raven
Queen? A fuzzy
Queen?
hand came and touched... Yeah, and I could be the Wolf Queen.
You don't understand the repercussions of something like that. You don't know what it will do to you.
I mean, to be fair...
we don't know what it's going to do if I don't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah, we do, because you're already not doing that right now.
Yeah, things seem pretty bad. We don't even know the full extent of it.
You're willing to bet your entire existence on bonding with this sword.
I feel like everything can be undone.
If there's any doubt whatsoever, you shouldn't do it.
Who said I have any doubt?
You did a... It sounded pretty doubtful.
No, I don't care about betting my existence on it.
That could be what's
at
stake.
I don't know about that.
Well,
but why does fate seem like it's just
why
been
do I have
hinting
it?
at it? Like, why does this keep happening? Why does she have it?
why does Pinwin have oath bow? Why does Willem have spider bow? Why does Willem have
They can
spider
use
sandals?
those though.
Yeah,
It's
but
true.
we
And they
don't.
can use those to the full extent. I want to use something to its full extent.
That makes sense.
That's fair.
She's making sense, but you're also making sense. So
I've said.
Why was this given to me if I wasn't supposed to unlock it and bond with it and have an army of Gorbel wolves?
That's the question you should be asking,
are you gonna call him Ghoul?
because there is a reason you were given it,
Exactly.
and it was never explicitly told to you. Don't you think that's weird?
No, there are so many questions in the world, Tomar. I don't know the answer to most of them, including this one.
I think you would be a fool, but you're entitled to do what you will.
What else am I supposed to do with it?
Destroy it.
Destroy it? Then what happens to my friends that I made?
They aren't your friends. They're your
We
thralls.
don't know that.
They're your thralls that you already killed them. Now they're living a life that they weren't meant to live and blindly following you or chasing after you. Do you think that's positive, good magic to wield? I don't
could
think
be.
so.
For us.
I'm so torn.
Oh, I'm just gonna hold on to it for a minute longer. I
Fine.
clearly can't do it in here because that guy made me stop holding hands with the furry hands, so...
Whatever you do with that sword is going to have major repercussions. Just don't take that lightly. Pinwin. What about your bow? Do you want me to inspect your bow?
Sure, unless you're gonna tell me not to use it.
I'm not telling you guys to do anything. I just think... No, I'm not. I'm telling
I'm
you...
just very strongly and aggressively indicating which direction the wind blows.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, whoever said that.
Yeah, here, go check it out.
All right,
Let's see.
I will cast Identify on Oathbow, and if there's resistance to it like the other one, then I'll cast it at 8th level.
It's the
Give me a
exact
sec.
same thing. I go into the dark room and there's furry,
Furry clawed
hands, like,
hand coming out of
makes no
shadows. Totally good.
Shadow is a wolf name.
What does that have to do with anything?
It's
That's a
not
good point.
necessarily bad.
It's a good point.
Pinwin named Shadow.
Totally
Yeah.
relevant.
There's nothing terrible about shadows. I don't know why you're acting like it's a bad sign.
There's nothing wrong with Shadow and his third Reichian voice.
There is a little bit of resistance, not nearly as much as what was on Gorbel's sword.
Uh-oh, sorry about your loss, Pinwin. What? We're gonna have to fight with our bare hands now.
I mean, that's a good sign. That's a sign that Pinwin's weapon isn't evil like yours is.
Oh my god, shut up. Okay, there's a little bit of resistance, so you might have to go a little bit further than first level.
So it's a little.
I'll
bit
go
evil.
second level.
You might need a little bit more than that.
Be specific.
You feel like it's at least fourth level.
Okay, I'll cast it at 4th level.
All right, you learn Oath Bow. Weapon, longbow, very rare. It's got a range of 150 foot, and then the far range is 600 feet. It's a 1d8. Against a sworn enemy, you add the 3d6, and it weighs about 2 pounds. When you knock an arrow on this bow, it whispers in Elvish, "Swift defeat to my enemies." Now, that changes as you're kind of understanding it, and now it's, you say, favored enemy, and it responds, enemy favored. The target of your attack becomes your sworn enemy until it dies or until dawn 7 days later. You can only have one such sworn enemy at a time. When your sworn enemy dies, you can choose a new one after the next dawn. When you make a ranged attack roll with this weapon against your sworn enemy, you have advantage on the roll. In addition, your target gains no benefit from cover other than total cover, and you suffer no disadvantage due to long range. If the attack hits, your sworn enemy takes an extra 3d6 piercing damage. While your sworn enemy lives, you have disadvantage on attack rolls with all other weapons. Now that you've pushed a little bit further and pierced the veil slightly more, you learn there's another feature of the Oath Bow. The Oath Bow also will conform to whoever bonds with it. When that happens, it specifies that there is a channeling from some other plane, and the bow will be able to speak. Additionally, it will give the bearer of the Oath Bow that bonds with it an additional 100 HP.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right, we got what we have here is a much more useful, less evil bow. Only offers helpful things.
Don't we have things coming from the abyssal plane?
Yes.
And if I'm bonded with the wolf blood blade, it has the ability to pierce through.
Gorbel, I was on your side until Warcrag showed up. That changed everything
Old
for me.
Craig.
Oh my god, he just didn't want it to happen here.
Pinwin,
you know that
try
whole
and
thing
bond
about
with
jealous guys?
Pinwin, try and bond with the bow here. We'll see what happens.
What am I supposed to say?
Did it say what he's supposed to do?
It did not.
Kiss it.
I
kiss
kiss
it?
my sword. Sword?
Uh-oh.
I kiss
Freudian
the
slip
Oath Bow.
there.
Night Oak.
Watch out, that's
kiss
still
your
got
bow.
star blood on it.
Does
Do you say anything to it after you kiss it?
happen? No.
No.
I mean, what do you
It sounded like he wants you to say something to it.
what do you say?
What do you
let's
normally say to
bond.
it?
I normally say favorite enemy, but that wouldn't make sense. Favorite enemy? My bow that I'm bonding with? I don't. What do I say?
How do you bond with other things?
I
You have a
them.
drink, you talk about common interests.
You say hi to him.
Hi. That's
You
a
talk about
bonding
your
word.
favorite movies.
You feel it like kind of rumble a little bit, but then stop, as if you're on the right path, but not enough.
Maybe sing to it.
Favorite weapon.
I am the favored weapon. And then it starts to shift. And
Oh yeah.
it transforms from its original bow form to having a more sturdy looking cross frame. The strand of the bow, the line of the bow itself, becomes much thinner, almost as thin as the bowstring on Willem's spider bow. It also changes colors. It starts to fleck gold and blue throughout it, and right on the edge, where you would knock the arrow, you see there's a carved little shape of a heart on it.
Oh,
I look over at Gorbel with my eyebrows raised.
Is it done yet?
I think so. Cool.
Then I raise my hand to my ear.
Then the bow flares up with a black fire.
Oh.
And you watch as
That looks positive,
Wire
Tomar.
Karag also flares up, and a tendril comes out again and goes near the bow, and the black fire goes against Wire Karag's little tendril, and they start fighting against one another, and you hear,
"Not in my presence."
and they start fighting, and slowly the bow's black fire recedes, and the bow goes back to normal.
Come
the
on,
golden blue
Craig.
flecks disappear, the heart goes away, and it returns to its longbow form.
Tomar, I'm doing
This
it.
is good.
I don't care.
This is
I don't
good.
care what you say.
Guys,
No, this is
Did
good.
you see the heart? It can't be bad. It had a cute little heart.
No. This is fantastic. This is good because remember, we all went fucking evil in the other alternate realities,
Except for Pinwin.
except for Pinwin,
Nuh-uh.
who would now be going evil as well in this reality.
We don't know it's evil.
did
it's
Pinwin
just like
have
you're-
Oathbow in the vision?
You couldn't tell.
Guys, I don't like this. I don't like this shit.
Is
I
there-
got rid of the Harbinger plate to make this armor, and there was no resistance to doing that when I did that here. But
Yeah, because you turned it into something that dude liked.
yeah,
He just doesn't like us drawing power from anybody else.
Give me a religion check, Tomar.
Question: Do we know for sure Craig is totally good?
yes.
That sounds like your
What has
feelings.
Craig done for you lately?
Lots. He
I was
helped
talking
make-
to Pinwin.
Oh, well, Pinwin hasn't given himself to work rag.
That sounds like a mighty big sacrifice. I'd rather give myself to the blade.
You'd rather give yourself to the Shadow Wolf?
Hey man, wolves are
I got
great.
22.
We're a wolf.
22. You're starting to get the impression, based on what you know about God interactions, that perhaps Gorbel may be correct in her assumption, though you don't know for sure, but perhaps Wire Karag just cannot abide any other deities in its presence.
I need some HP, man.
His house, his rules. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I will make my wariness known. But yeah, I guess don't do it here.
That's fair.
Well, with that guy interrupting constantly, I glare at it.
But
You see a slight little flare.
it is worth knowing what deity these are tied to in the first place.
How do we discover that?
Yeah, is there someone we could ask?
I don't know.
Who do you ask about these things? There's no help desk.
I mean, I would have thought that I would have found that out by investigating them, but apparently not.
Can I do a religion check on my blade?
You may attempt.
And I'll do that on my oath bow after
All
seeing
right, let's see what I
we'll
roll.
do
It's
that.
probably going to be somewhere between a 2 and a 6.
20.
The worst. 23.
And you got 20, Pinwin?
No, I got 14 for religion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Pinwin, you can't really pick up on anything. Gorbel,
Looks
from the time you've spent with this blade, you know that there is some deity associated with it, but you don't know the name of the deity, but you feel like whatever hand reached out could have potentially been a part of that deity.
How did the hand feel?
Firm,
Besides-
strong.
Okay.
It didn't hurt you. It was just very firmly grasping your hand.
firmly grasp it. I'm so
I don't know.
sorry.
Do you think maybe Mirluck would know anything about this sword, considering he's the sword and he's kind of like he's sort of like a sentient sword being?
I don't
Thing.
care.
That's a good
If
idea.
you're gonna do that, we need to go, and then we need to
Maybe-
go to Bronze Wall.
Do we have someone in the bag? I'm really itching to get into it again, to be quite honest. And so, I mean, if there's someone I could ask in there,
Maybe wait to get in the bag for a while, Pinwin.
why?
I think you were shown what you were meant to see there.
But what if there's more?
Do we still have our telepathic bond with Willem, or has it been too long now?
I would say you'd still have it.
Oh, do we really?
Yeah. You were... Oh, no, sorry. It disconnected when you went in the bag.
Well, do you guys want to do anything else here, or do you want to just head out?
I mean, we're here because of you. What?
I did what I came here to do. Yeah.
You don't need to talk to Craig at all or anything.
Well, we already talked.
You did.
Not very chatty.
I don't think I have any other magical items or anything like that to use here.
I mean, I painted the gold sword, but I don't know if it will work exactly the same. Do you want to check that out before we go?
I mean, I can't make something out of nothing. I would need something to exchange it for, basically.
I don't think I understand what you're like.
Item goes in basin. New item comes out of basin. Old item gone. New item here.
Can it be a not sword?
Maybe. Do you have something else?
Probably.
I might even be able to make something that's kind of shitty and mundane something better.
I do have Steel Horn of the Champions Hall.
What the hell is that?
You know, you blow it and it gives everybody
The heebie-jeebies.
and it's inspiring to everybody.
How come you never use it?
Because it's at the bottom of my pack.
That probably could have been useful at some point.
It's only good once a day, and then, you know, if you're just going to use it once, it's like you have to unpack everything that's on top of it. And I have my old closed-toed shoes that are on top, and those are pretty clunky, and you have to get those out and then reach down.
Do you ever change your shoes?
No.
Why do you keep them in your bag for?
What if I need them?
She's got a point, Tomar.
I never understand you.
What else do you suggest I do with them? Just leave them on the side of the road?
No, like at home where shoes go.
How many other people are looking for size 15 women's boots?
You're making up this leaving in the wilderness business. I never said anything like that.
Also, what if she gets a hole in her shoes?
They're sandals.
Yeah, what?
She's wearing sandals, Pinwin. They're made of holes.
I mean, you don't want them
mostly
everywhere. Can we put multiple items into there? Not at once, but like...
Pinwin, what is it you want? Do you want something? Do you want this sword? Is that what you're saying?
Let's just say I'm kind of curious. I don't know. I'm interested to see. I don't know. I have my boots. See these babies?
Yeah.
They're
And don't those ones protect your feet?
I mean, yeah, but I also have
if we're putting boots in, I would suggest mine because I haven't worn them for a while.
Worst case scenario is that you'll just get other boots. Who knows?
they're boots.
New boots?
They're the boots of the cat where they make me jump really high.
Yeah, if you want to turn in those boots, we'll see what happens.
Or I have the Elven Circlet of Everbreath, which would let me breathe underwater, but we haven't really been underwater.
That will never happen.
What if it'll make me breathe not in the water?
Maybe it'll make you breathe only in water and you become a mermaid.
That'd be so cool.
But it'd also kind of ruin your life, right? Either way, just decide.
Are there downsides to this?
Maybe. Not so far.
Why are we... I mean, I want to know.
I root around for my
give me one
horn.
of your things.
Which one?
I don't care.
Gorbel presents the horn to you.
I take the horn.
So you're just taking the horn?
Do you want a horn or do you want me to try and think of something else?
Ooh, what do we think could be more useful? I want something that's, if it's going to have to be in the horn family, I'd like it to be something I can wear around my neck for easy access.
Trombone?
What is a horn that you can wear around your neck?
A whistle.
Okay. I put the horn in the basin.
Okay.
And I start to pray to work rag, and I start
All
to
right.
think
Give me a religion check.
I start to think about whistles in general.
Make this horn dope.
That's a 20.
Okay. Now give me your blacksmithing skill roll.
Ooh.
It looks jank.
31.
Oh.
31. All right. I want you to roll a D100 for me.
63.
All right. So you place the horn in the basin and the fires from the soul forge start to spin around it. It starts melting down and it kind of goes through a mold, and you start working, and you kind of get lost in it, and all you can kind of hear is just this kind of poom, poom, poom in kind of the recesses of your mind, as if you're channeling Agraman himself, and it just kind of consumes you to the point that you're not even paying attention to what you're really doing. You two watch as Tomar seems to just have this preternatural ability to know exactly what he needs when he needs it. He grabs this thin piece of metal, he puts it in the cooling basin of like a big barrel of water, pulls it out, starts hammering it. Then he switches up to a smaller hammer and starts doing very fine detail. And after about 10 minutes, after he dunks it again, Tomar, you kind of come to.
Then I'm like, this is only going to take like 10 minutes, probably. Oh. There you go. And then I turn around holding it.
You have created the pipe flute of Boone.
Do I know what it does right away?
You, as you kind of like put it over in your hand, you start to kind of understand what it is that this thing does. And 3 times per day to be recharged at the rising of the sun. This allows all of whoever blows this, their companions, can roll a d12 and add that to any roll as long as it's within the first round of battle.
What you have here is a free inspo pipe. You gotta pipe this baby at the beginning of battle.
It's about 3 inches long, so it's kind of like a whistle. It's like a really small little like pan flute, or small little flute. And you do see that Tomar has even forged tiny little rings on either side where a chain could be slipped through for a necklace.
It doesn't come with a chain?
It does not.
I'm sorry, the forge doesn't allow chains.
It's a good star religion.
It is slightly more useful than the other thing you had. So, there you go. And I wasn't even trying very hard.
What about my shiny shirt?
I mean, I made that for you, but if you want to give it up, then we'll see what it does.
I mean, would that offend you? You're making it again.
No,
so you'd still be making it.
I literally put my father's own sword in here, so I don't care. I could give 2 shirts about that shiny shirt.
Okay, you can have a boon.
Yeah.
Okay, do you think it'll make it stronger?
Yes.
Then let's do it.
I made that shirt. I made that shiny shirt so long ago.
Let's do it. Here, Tomar, can I get it off with my cloak stuck on me?
It'll be difficult, but yeah, if you take a little bit of time.
Okay.
Pinwin, is that cloak stuck on you?
Yeah, I've told you about this, right?
No.
I'm just like shuffling, like I look
pushing
ridiculous.
it up through the collar.
Right. I get like the arm of it stuck around my neck. I'm like,
At that moment, Pinwin, an arm comes out from the forge, a tendril, and strikes the cloak. The clasp comes off and it flaps down to your feet.
Oh my god! And I'll jump. Was that so high or what? You see that sick jump?
Yeah, Pinwin. Well, at least you have it off of you.
That's awesome. I'm gonna put it in my bag.
Pinwin's just shirtless right
Just
now.
make sure you unequip it on D&D Beyond, because that takes away the
I don't think it was
persuasion.
ever equipped. Nope.
All right, so
I don't know if it was added.
is there any feature you're hoping to get out of this shirt that I'm replacing?
Higher AC. I mean,
What is AC?
I mean, just more effective armor.
More protection?
More protection. That one.
All right.
With this and the oath bow being beefed up,
All right, I'm gonna
just be okay.
put Pinwin's shiny shirt, his mithril shirt, into the basin. I'm going to think about protection,
This is our easy bake oven.
form, function, to make it as most effective as possible. And this time I'm also going to burn one of my channel divinities to see if that can give some boost to it.
Okay.
The channel divinity that I usually use for my 1 hour make stuff out of something ability.
So I will allow you to forego your religion check in that in that regard, and we'll treat that as a natural 20.
Sick.
And you're still going to require a blacksmithing check.
Okay. Ooh. It was nat 1, but it's 13.
13. Okay. So you start the same process over again. You guys watch as he goes into a fervor, starts doing some crazy shit. And when he comes out of it, there is a new shirt. It is a much lighter mesh, almost as if the mithril has somehow become thinner. And it's almost like silk. It's so finely like knit almost that it looks extremely breathable, very, very light. And you hold up Pinwin's shiny shirt 2.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that it's got like a pearlescent sheen that kind of color shifts a little bit in the
Ooh,
light.
I like that. Yeah. And this is it is light armor, and it's got an armor class of 18, and it also gives a 50-point boost to HP.
Damn.
Nice.
Yay! I might survive. Maybe.
What do you think would happen if we put the hat of the drunkard in?
I don't know. I can do this all day.
We just put all our things in. Well,
I'm telling you, the Soul
in.
Forge is cool. This is what I've been doing for 6 months.
This goes in, this comes out.
Wait, so I'm sorry. What did you say about the shiny shirt? 50 HP and what else?
And AC 18.
Okay.
It's shiny shirt 2.
Does anyone have anything we could use for Shadow so he won't die?
I mean, Shadow has his armor I made for him. Is Shadow with us?
Shadow did not come with.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
He stayed behind.
Well, you'll have to worry about that later, Pinwin. Next campaign.
Oh, man.
Ura looks up at you guys finally. Is there anything for me that you could make?
Aw.
Tomar hucks
No.
Ura into the
I put
forge.
him in the basement. Yeah. Pull out a better Ura. What do you like? What do you use? We can experiment. We can try and make something into something new.
Okay.
Give me the drunkard hat.
He likes alcohol.
What?
Pull out my hat.
All right, I'm
It smells like booze.
gonna put the hat in, and I'm gonna think of a tankard instead.
Okay, you will require materials from somewhere else as this hat is made of cloth.
Okay,
And it's
I'll
going to be a higher DC.
I'll throw in. I have a chunk of silver on me. I had some silver in my bag, and I'll hook that in there.
All right. Go ahead and give me blacksmithing. Are you using a channel divinity
I
again?
am not.
I really
Okay, then
feel
give me a
like-
religion check.
Religion was 27, and armor training 30.
All right, give me a percent roll.
This is fun.
It is fun. I really think we need to bring Willem
36.
a gift from the gift shop. I mean, the basic.
Gift shop. Thank you for stopping at the Soul Forge. On your left, you see the gift
Craig
shop.
You can have a point of boon for that. It made me chuckle.
Welcome to the Soul Forge.
That was funny.
Come stop at the Craig shop.
All right, so with a 36, basically what I was looking for is because you rolled so well, it would have been anything above a 5 would be a success. And so you start doing the same process over and over again, and there's a very burning smell as the hat goes into the smelting pot, and a lot of smoke erupts from it, and it smells like alcohol and burnt leather. And finally, you are able to forge a weird object. You haven't seen anything of its like before. It is in the shape of an upside down hat with a handle. So it's a mug or a tankard that looks like a hat upside down and open with a handle on it, and the outside is wrapped in a thin line of leather. And you have created the cup of many drinks.
Aww.
And its quality is that it can never be filled and never be emptied.
Wait, it can never be filled?
Correct.
So it's just a
Wow.
cup that is useless?
No, it. What I mean by that is that it has its own alcohol producing effect.
Oh.
It will always be full, never when you look inside, but the moment you take a drink, you will have unending alcohol.
Does it matter what kind of alcohol, or is it the alcohol you so desire?
Guess you'll have to find out.
I turn
Busch
around
Light.
and I have like soot all over my face, and I look kind of confused. I'm like, here you go.
Ah, this is excellent. And you watch as Ura takes a drink. Ah, this is good berry wine. Takes another drink. This is good berry wine.
Uh-oh.
This is good berry wine.
Okay. Yeah. That was okay.
Ura dies.
And then you watch as Ura like closes their eyes
And
and concentrates, and then there's like a flash, and then Ura's smiling again. This is good berry wine. Having immediately evacuated the alcohol somewhere.
Wow.
The perfect gift does exist. And he
Well.
just got it.
That was fun. I don't know if you guys want to do anything else, but we should probably get back to see what Willem's up to.
You just get back and everything's on fire.
Okay, and then bronze ball.
Bronze ball.
Bronze wall.
Francois.
Bronzewell.
Right.
Bronzewell.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I read-
montage high five, yeah.
I reach out and I grab their hands and I say build and take us back to the temple.
You arrive back in the temple.
It smells different here.
Like what?
Like a
Fire!
nasty Rothian.
Like not burnt leather.
Smells clean. I don't like it.
Like lions.
Somebody make it dirty.
All right. Well, I'm going to leave and I'm going to look around, see if anything's different, try and find Willem. Last place he was in the tavern, right?
So as you guys step out of the tavern, you see Willem standing in the middle of the market area, looking as though he kind of assumed that you would be soon on your way, and as if he has something to tell you. Sorry, unless you would prefer to be doing something else.
Or not tell us.
Anyway, hi guys. Nothing happened.
I guess I imagined I would be deliberating more strategy with Len and Dirk.
Yeah, and you can see a group of individuals kind of gathered around him, and you guys notice that there's not many people in the streets, which is unusual because this is pretty much drinking time.
Do I spot them?
Yes, you would spot them.
Guys,
Hey.
we gotta talk.
Is that a good or bad we've got to talk? Because we've got to talk about some good and maybe bad stuff. But I think good.
Okay, you go
Same.
first.
Same. So the Queen of Rothia showed up.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Already?
She's here.
The queen?
Mm-hmm.
How'd she
Yep.
get here so fast?
We're not sure about that actually. She showed up in a ship in the harbor somehow,
Are
even
you
though it was
sure
a
it was the
huge
queen?
ship.
You looked
I
really
have no reason to
closely
doubt
at
that it was the Queen.
She seemed queenly.
She seemed like a bitch.
Whoa, okay, so it didn't go well.
Wait, you actually met with her?
I did. It went about as well as you would imagine somebody being the queen of an entire nation that's trying to occupy and take over your nation.
Wait, so
Is that what you
they
said?
don't
They're-
want our help?
So did you kill her?
Are they taking
No.
over?
Oh, okay.
No, she kind of just gave us the same proposal that I'm assuming the guy gave you. You hit all the cliff notes, essentially, as far as what she proposed. Teaming up, giving us money and resources for an army. I let her know that we're not interested in monetary bribery and that our terms for an alliance would include the complete military occupation withdrawal of Valtel. And then we could talk about teaming up and working together as one military unit.
Where is Rothia occupying right now in Valdelin? I thought they were under truce, and I do air quotes.
The only place they're currently in is Darkreach. They have an outpost there. They took that not too long ago, but that was under because it was being kind of pummeled by demonic spirits or something. They believe something dark, and they moved in, took care of them, and then just didn't leave.
So she didn't want to give us her forces? Is that what you're saying?
Not necessarily. No, I don't understand. What do you mean?
You said she didn't want to go along with your withdrawing forces and giving them to us. Dealio.
She said that she would consider it, but it didn't seem like it was going to be one of those. Yeah, after careful consideration, I've decided to endorse the park. It was very. She wanted to have an alliance, but on her terms and her terms alone. I let her know that if she did feel compelled to provide us with some sort of monetary compensation, that it be given to a mutual third party who would disperse it to Valtel in a way to help repair and restore all that was lost during the Rothian invasion and occupation.
Well, how much was she offering?
100,000 gold.
I don't know if another nation would be trustworthy. Bringing in another party might cause more problems.
It was my hope that it would instill more unification of the land rather than causing any more discourse.
I don't know personally enough about the other nations, but was she open to that aspect?
Like I said, she told me that she would consider it, but she was very bitter about how she said that she was leaving, and I look towards the harbor.
You guys would have to kind of come around, so if you guys want to all move to look out over the harbor.
Was she like, I'm leaving in like a, I'm leaving sort of leaving?
Kind of, yeah. Definitely bratty.
That doesn't bode well.
It does not.
Is there anything else weird that was going on?
So they showed up in a single ship, and I was told that there were only 8 of them on the entire ship. But when Mirrorluck, Whiskers, and I rowed out to meet them to parley, other ships started showing up via portals. They looked like they were Valtel ships, but they weren't flying any Valtel colors or flags.
And as you guys kind of approach the upper area where you can look out over the harbor and over the lock, you guys see that the Queen's ship is still there, kind of out a ways. And then far beyond that, almost imperceptibly so, you can see 4 ships that appear to be of Valtelian make that have not moved. They're all in a line.
Is her ship moving?
Her ship is not either.
I think we should go down there and try and make ourselves clear or something, or maybe try and fix what happened. I'm not sure what happened.
Should we also see who's actually on those
Mystery
other
ships?
Maybe we can split up. Willem, did you set up guards anywhere or anything?
As you ask that, you can see that as you look, you can see guards set up all along the upper area behind the Shadegazer Manor. You can see that there have been efforts made where the constructs are kind of out in a position that's not visible from the lock, but is visible to you guys. And you can see most of the people on the harbor don't appear to be doing any actual work. Instead, they seem to be miming work. And far out from the harbor, not quite so far as the ship, you can see that there's somebody on one of the, sitting on a kind of an outcropping on one of the daggers of the lock.
Nice. Good job. Are you guys gonna do your weapon things now, or are you gonna wait?
I'm gonna wait until Mirrorluck can maybe take a look at this.
Okay. Pinwin?
As if by magic, Mirrorluck steps forward.
Hey, look at that sword.
What can I help you with?
Oh, so it's my wolf blood blade. Turns out if I want to unlock some more power with it, I'll have to bond with it. There is some concern that maybe that's a bad thing. So you're in the profession of being a sword. Would you, with your experience, would you be able to maybe tell me what occupies the sword or what deity it's linked to?
You could have a boon, by the way. Mirrorluck looks at the sword. Can I see the sword?
Okay, don't do anything fishy with it.
Well, it's just sword examining another sword.
He quickly says the
Sword
phrase.
seeing sword.
He looks it over, runs his hand across the flat of the blade, kind of looks it over, checks its balance, does a perfunctory swipe with it, and then hands it back to you. Yes, that belongs to the wolf king.
So if it makes me the wolf queen,
You gotta marry him.
is that a thing?
No, I think it'd be similar to the discipleship Tomas has with his deity.
I would.
Except mine's cooler because mine overpowered yours.
Do you know the wolf king?
No, I've heard rumors, never interacted. I didn't think it was an actual deity. I think it's something in the middle, not like a full-on deity.
Is he a
Something-
snack?
Yeah.
Is it cool?
I mean, he was famously very powerful.
But not inherently evil.
Well, I suppose evil is a subjective term.
How
He
about
had his
evil
own-
in the way
From
that
our
I mean it?
perspective.
I don't know how to really answer that. Your terms are... You'll have to excuse me a little bit because I think we're on two different wavelengths as far as evil's concerned.
Get on my wavelength. That's a t-shirt.
No. It's not as though he was in the pursuit of good, nor was he in the pursuit of evil.
So he's a neutral
More-
force.
So I suppose more of an opportunistic, I would say.
Would I?
That's good enough for me.
Do you think I would like be in debt to this wolf king
No.
in some way?
Typically, it's when gifts like this are received and bonds are forged. It's not so much about being indebted. It's more of currying favor. You cannot be forced against your will to worship a deity.
That is true. I can agree with that.
So if you don't like it, you could always spit in its face and say, fuck off.
That might not be possible if you actually bond with the weapon. That sounded kind of like
Disappears back in her
horseshit, that
hand.
last part.
I don't know. I've always spit in deities' faces.
Do you know anybody who has met the wolf king?
Not personally, but I heard that Rayalodian had some sort of contract with the Wolf King. I believe that's his blade, correct?
Yes.
Well, there you have it. That's the only person I know.
It has some powers that have to do with things from the abyssal plane.
Oh, that's
you know
nasty
why?
stuff, the Abyssal Plane. Hate it. Hate the Abyssal Plane. I mostly hate how anything that comes from there is so corrupted and just disgusting, and the Abyssal Plane itself is just a nightmare.
Oh, we've
of
been.
a plane. Have you?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Have you? It's not good, especially considering it kind of when you're there, you're not allowed to regenerate any of your health or your spells or anything of the like. It's just not a fun place to be.
No, not at all.
So I know that you're a sword, but like, would you know what deity my oath bow? Like, where that came from? If it's a deity thing? Anything?
Perhaps, would you like me to look it over?
Yeah.
I just
could.
exchange a glance with Willem and I like shrug.
What exactly are you guys talking about with deities
What the fuck is going on?
and your weapons? What happened at the
I mean,
Soul
I
Forge?
recap to him like that I finally like fully investigated these weapons and there was some suspect force guiding it. And I tell him about Wyra and how Wirecrag did its crazy shit in all aspects of everything while Miraluk is doing his thing. So we had quite a bit of a weird couple hours.
No kidding.
Also, hey, Willem, look at me. You notice anything different? I have my hands on my hips.
You shaved your mustache.
I never had a mustache, Willem.
Well,
You do look like somebody who would have a mustache.
I wish I could have a mustache.
Oh, you
Wait,
can't
you
grow
can't
one?
grow one?
Siblings.
Yeah,
Have you tried? Like, really tried?
I don't know.
We gotta do something about that, Pinwin.
Should I grow them? Should I try?
Yeah, try. Start
Ooh.
today.
Okay.
yeah, you should probably talk to Let and see if he has a salve that you could
Ooh, maybe,
use.
yeah, maybe.
You know,
I mean, I've never had this problem.
I don't know if I've really put in a good
That's
try.
not-
So
That's not completely true, Tomas.
I'm gonna put in a
Is
good
it?
try. See if I can do
Yes,
it on my
it's
own.
true, Willem.
If I believe hard enough, I can grow a mustache. But
all right,
anyway, that
Shut
wasn't
up,
it.
everyone. I'm trying to concentrate. Shut your mouth. And he like waves his hand over, looks, does the same kind of thing, pulls the string back, slowly lets it release.
That there's a bow.
A bow. Perhaps you can shoot arrows from it. Now he like looks at it and hands it back. I don't know for sure, but I get the same sort of vibe from that I got from standing in the presence of those moon gods.
Ooh.
I mean, they could kind of be bad too, but
I don't know.
I don't know. Everything could be. I'm gonna do it. Any qualms?
At this point, no. Whatever.
I say do it.
Favored weapon.
Weapon is favored. And then it
Whoa.
starts to change. Gold, blue flecks up and down. It gets thicker, but still not too thick for you to be able to use.
Respectably
the
thick.
Yeah, thick as frick. The bowstring gets very, very thin, and a black flame erupts around it. And then the black flame travels into your hands, Pinwin, and you notice that on the tip, like between these two knuckles, your second or your first knuckle and your second knuckle, a little arrow tattoo appears.
Cool.
Nice.
Cool.
You are bonded to Oathbow.
Yes.
Pinwin.
Willem.
Hold the finger with the arrow tattoo up to your nose. You have a mustache.
I didn't even see. I just needed to believe more.
Well, your weapons might be similar in that they have latent
I thought
power.
you were going to cartwheel. I thought you were cartwheeling away.
Wouldn't that
I was
be
like,
cool?
what's happening?
Your weapons might have latent power too that have been locked away. You might want to check those too.
That makes sense. I always thought that the blade of Kurikianj had something hidden away in it.
I mean, spider bow could too.
Right. Well, I don't know if now is the time. Do we have time for me to inspect these?
I mean,
We have a lot of pressing matters.
Pinwin
We
just
do.
did his thing. Miraluk was doing his thing. You might not get another chance.
It's true.
All right, Miraluk, do you want to inspect Spiderbow? I'll inspect Kurikianj.
Sure. And he does the same kind of thing, looks it over. I don't sense a deity on this. However, and he looks up at the Shadegazer Manor and then looks down at the bow again. There's something to this. I suspect... Oh, I'll return in a moment. And he hands you back your bow, and he just walks off.
The hell?
All right, then.
I mean, I can
What was
just
that?
I can just identify it if you want.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm doing with Kurikianj, but we're all handing stuff to Miraluk.
I mean,
guess.
they wanted to hand stuff to Miraluk just to be
He's a
safe.
sword.
I mean, I can at least tell you what you can unlock if that suits you.
Sure, you do the bow, I'll do Kurikianj.
I will see if there's any resistance to identifying the bow.
There is very slight, even less than there was with Pinwin's.
I
You
will-
think level 2.
All right.
Level 2 resistance.
Cast it at second level.
It's probably good we're getting our weapons tip-top shape because we're going to end game fights, I think, unless we're not.
As you identify it, you notice the typical stuff. It is a longbow, legendary, and it allows one to do spider climb and web at will. It's a legendary bow wielded by a member of a famed band of adventurers. The sinister-looking black bow is adorned with web-like patterns carved into the wood. The thin yet strong bowstring is almost invisible to anyone but the wielder. You have a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls when you wield this magic weapon. This bow carries additional bonus features when attuned to it. You have a total of 5 charges per day, allowing you to perform the following abilities. As an action, you can pull the bowstring back empty and a white arrow or form out of hardened web. You can make a ranged attack toward a target. On a hit, the target becomes restrained for 1 minute. If the attack misses, a 10-foot area is affected by this web spell. As an action, you can cast the spell Spider Climb on the target of your choice. If this bow is bonded, you find that if this bow is bonded... Why are we all dancing?
We were doing that the whole time you were reading that.
Sorry.
Getting more and more, aggressive. Me, anyway.
Yeah, I'm dizzy.
If this bow is bonded to an individual, it can only be bonded to someone of the Shadegazer lineage. And when that happens, the true secrets of the Shadegazer Manor will unlock. Also, if there is any sort of combat inside the city, once this bow is bonded, the presence of the bearer of the bow will give everyone advantage during combat.
Jesus.
Everyone.
Oh, we're about to fucking kill the Queen of Rhodia.
That is very specific contingencies.
Oh,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Yep. And then I hand it back to him like, this felt good. If you've been ever curious about this manor and stuff, you're going to want to bond to this thing. Did it say how to bond to it?
It did not.
I think you need to shoot yourself in the face with the web of the bow.
I step on
Try the kiss.
the bowstring and
Yeah,
pull it.
kiss it. Sing to it.
Shoot yourself in the balls.
Hug it.
Pull
Push
it.
it.
Bop it.
Flick it.
Web it.
Pull it.
I do the only thing that I've done to bond to anything at this point as far as inanimate objects go, and I put
Handshake.
it to my forehead.
Oh.
No fucking way.
You guys watch as a web of light starts, like it looks like spider webs kind of dancing around Willem and start to like almost like drop like snowflakes onto his hair. And you notice that there is a white strip of hair
Ooh.
now
That's hot.
Willem, that is so
And now-
edgy.
on the bow itself is a thin white band right around where you knock the arrow. You are bonded to the spider bow of the Shade Gazer lineage.
All right. Now let's do Karikianj.
Karikianj
Creaky horn.
identifies that you would not be able to bond with it.
Why?
Because it was Lewin's.
Womp womp.
It feels as though when you try to identify it, you feel as though you are kind of on the outside looking in. And while you may be its caretaker, you are not its keeper.
Interesting.
However, you do learn from identification that it says, though you are not its keeper, you can transfer Karikianj to someone else to take.
Interesting.
Who
Okay.
needs a weapon?
Did he get the secrets about Shadegazer when he bonded with the bear?
You get the feeling that that would require you entering the Shadegazer Manor.
Let's go.
Gorbel, are you going to bond with your thing?
I don't know. I just don't know.
Did I scare you? With all my talk of evil and darkness?
But you guys didn't have to say anything and nothing came out. Well, I guess you got grabbed by spider webs, but I don't know. A big hand grabbed me.
It might just
What
be
else is
part
new?
of it.
I don't know. Should I do it? Do you think we'll need it to fight anything that comes out of the abyssal plane?
I mean, it would certainly help. If
Do you think
did.
it's gonna make me look gross?
No worse than normal. And I
don't
wink
know.
at her.
Should I just do it?
Gorbel, I don't care what you look like. I'll always braid your hair.
What if it takes her hair away?
I'll make you a wig.
A hairless werewolf.
Pinwin will paint you the prettiest wig.
A hair wolf.
I don't know. I'm a little torn.
I'm behind you either way, you know? Because
Am I ready to be a queen?
you've always been a queen, let's be real.
Drama queen.
Oh, us.
I love
at us.
Gorbel and Tomar's interactions because it always feels like genuine siblings. It just reminds me of me and my sister.
Okay, are you guys gonna be mad at me if I do it?
I don't
We'd
care.
be mad at you.
I'd only be mad if it like opened a portal and demons poured out and tried to kill us.
Well, I would be pretty upset too.
It'd be a temporary anger if that happened. But
Hopefully. One way or another.
I'm gonna try it.
Go for it.
A portal opens and demons come.
oh shit! And that's what we're gonna do.
I shoot myself in the face.
Wolf and thorn, bone and blade, thus the dark brood now is made.
You guys watch as Gorbel is completely engulfed by this shadowy sphere.
Is it bad? Does it look bad?
You are surrounded by darkness.
Does it look bad?
It's dark.
It looks like nothing.
A hand reaches out again, this time not saying anything. And it's a big, hairy, like gigantic clawed hand. And it reaches, and just as it's about to touch you, you hear a whisper in your ear that says, "Forward or backward." You can feel the pendant on your chest warm.
Oh, timey-wimey bullshit.
Must choose forward or backward.
Oh my god. What does that mean? Why?
Forward?
You watch, all of you, as Gorbel's orb of darkness disappears and she is gone. Gorbel, you find yourself in a familiar place. A field full of flowers. The sky looks as though it's set to sunset, and in front of you is an empty throne made of vines. In front of you, the flowers begin to turn into like a crystalline color, like almost clear and sparkly, and they form a pathway up to the throne.
Backward?
What's behind her?
Lewin?
You receive no response.
I approach. I'm not going to sit on it.
As you approach the throne, you watch as the vines start to slowly unravel. And they start to sink into the ground, revealing in the dirt a glittering golden sword.
Yeah!
And that's where we're going to end for the night.
Okay, that's better. All right. Oh my god. That had me worried.
Holy cow.
Scary.
Yeah, it was. Where the hell's Lewin, though?
It might not even be in the same place. Who knows? I don't
Taking
know.
a break.
She's in the bathroom.
Just like the moon gods. You guys just always catch them when they're peeing.
What does
such bad
backward
timing.
do? That's what I want to know.
That is a good question.
Damn, dude.
Undoes it? I don't. That's what I thought.
Undoes it?
Yeah.
All right, why do you guys deserve 5 points of boon?
Because I made everyone upgrade their stuff.
Yeah, because
That was
all
good.
our
That
things
was
are
real
crazy.
good.
I use the Soul Forge to make new stuff.
Except Shadow.
We all did bonding stuff.
We did.
I furthered my West Wingage channeling.
Yes, and from now on, when interacting with nobility, Willem, you will get a +2 to your persuasion
Nice.
and your deception. So
Sick
keep that in mind.
nasty.
That's a very situational, obviously, so keep a note
Sure.
for it.
You can add it to your sheet too.
Okay, cool.
Also, Tomar, when you can add an additional +3 to any of your blacksmithing in the future.
Sick.
Mm.
All right, everybody take 5 points of boon!
Yay! Yay!
All right, now it's time for tonight's MVPC.
Beep, boop, boop.
Beep Boop Boop, the most valuable player character. I want you guys to vote for who deserves an additional 5 points of boon for the audience's benefit and yours as well. Willem is 1, Tomar is 2, Pinwin is 3, and Gorbel is 4. When I count to 3, I will have you raise the number of fingers indicating the person that you would like to vote for, the corresponding number, of course. And I'll give you a few moments to decide, and then we will deliberate. All right, take a minute, think about who you're going to vote for, and then we'll vote.
Can we vote DM for those sick weapon experiences?
You may if you want to ruin your life.
Those are fun.
Does everybody know who they want?
Yes.
All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, vote. All right, we've got a tie. 2 votes for Tomar, 2 votes for Gorbel. Tomar, why'd you vote for Gorbel?
I liked her interactions with me about her sword.
Mm-hmm.
And
And that
I
she
thought
was really weighing it.
I thought
on my
we
turn.
both made interesting points that we would have made in that scenario, and
Yeah, it was very character driven.
that was fun.
Willem, why'd you vote for Gorbel?
I like the sibling rivalry interactions back and forth, but I also liked her being very like standing her ground about like, no, I want to do this.
Mhm.
And even though everybody was like, I don't know, this is kind of some black magic kind of bad juju kind of stuff. And she's like, yeah, but I want it. And just sticking with that was really fun.
Nice. Pinwin, why did you vote for Tomar?
Because now, because of his help, I have 150 HP additional, which will be huge for me. And then, yeah, I don't know. That was really cool. Him making all the different stuff. It was fun.
Gorbel, why did you vote for Tomar?
He made very cool stuff, and he made something for Ura.
Mm-hmm.
which I think was the most appropriate gift for them.
Mm.
And I also enjoyed bickering with him. I love a good bicker sesh.
All right. So with 2 and 2, that means tonight's MVPCs are the Bicker Twins, Tomar Ironfist and Gorbel Icetower. Take your 3 points of boon apiece and maybe try to work on your interpersonal skills with one another.
And
It served us well.
Guess who just got 105
Wow.
points of boon?
105 points of boon. All right. Well, in that case, something very special is going to happen in the next session.
Ooh.
Oh shit, baby.
What if it's like
Does the number
just
start
Three
over
away from
again or no?
100.
Here's what's going to happen. Now that one person has reached 100 points of boon, everyone will receive the benefit of it.
Yay!
However, you're all going back to 0 boon.
Okay.
Wow.
I like it. Teamwork.
You will
Okay.
all receive something in the next session.
You're
Tomar, you will receive something slightly more
Aw.
welcome. Fuck yeah.
Early
for reaching it
Christmas.
first.
Yay.
However,
Before spooky
Fuck
season?
you.
however, there are going to, as always, be at least one caveat. So
What?
Wow.
be ready for that in the next session.
Well, I love caviar, so
You already said the one caveat. We all have to go back to 0. That's already a caveat. Take your caveat and stick it up your
Shove it up your
butt.
caveat. Your cavity.
Your cavernous cavity.
So I guess we'll see what that brings, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it.
In hugs?
Oh,
It could be.
that'd be great.
Rice
Drugs.
Krispie treats?
It could be
Oh,
Rice
also
Krispie
great.
treat hugs.
Oh,
gross, sticky.
Yeah.
Sticky, but still somehow pleasant.
Are they life
All right,
size?
so thanks to Chad Piper for that awesome intro song. Thanks to Adrian Von Ziegler for that beautiful background music. Thanks to all of you listeners once again. If you like what you're hearing, please consider rating us 5 stars on iTunes or wherever else has a rating system for the for not the iPad, for your podcasting experience. If you don't have a rating system there, consider hopping on to our iTunes platform and rating us anyway. We'd really appreciate that, and
You're
it
gonna get
really helps
hop-ons.
drive up. Yeah, it really helps drive up our score and our visibility when we have a higher score. So please consider doing that. If you would like to leave a review, we will read it on the podcast, which is always just a really fun experience, and I think it adds a little bit of personal touch to it if you're a listener. Also, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/D20_syndicate and check out the tiers that we have available. We've got some pretty sweet offerings, and including a swag bag at one of the tiers. So you'll have to check it out, see which tier that is, see if you qualify, aka have that amount of money willing to donate. Anyway,
Give us
that's
money.
it for tonight's episode, folks. See you next week. I am your host and DM, Seth, and this is the D20 Syndicate podcast, where we go on adventures so you don't have to. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
On a very special episode of Blossom.
Goodbye or whatever.
Whoa.
That looks good. Who's that?
Who is
I
that?
don't know.
That's
That's
Mr.
Gerald.
Burger.
What'd her name be?
She's thick.
Thick.
I realize I do that with clothing a lot. I act like it's a person. Like whenever I
I
see
love it.
someone in like a new shirt, I'm always like, ooh, do I know her?
Oh,
That's
so fun.
adorable.
It's dumb.
That's fun.
People seem to like it though.
Yes, I
Yeah.
love it.
No, I understand why. That's adorable.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a post on
Bag.
our food. Homemade pretzel bun, bacon Dijonnaise, pickles.
That's a
beef
homemade
patty.
burger?
Yeah.
Damn.
You know
And-
what I would like suck a
Emmental.
tit for.
Tit juice.
a really good Reuben.
Dude, Reubens
Reubens
are, so
are
good.
really so good.
You talking about
So
sandwiches
fucking
like that just gave
Stop
me
talking
that
about
thought.
sandwiches. I can't
Sorry.
eat sandwiches.
I had
no
a
more.
sandwich for lunch.
So did we. We had tuna sandwiches.
Fuck you.
I had turkey.
Have you tried any bread alternatives?
What's the point?
They're a bunch of nasty gluten.
It's just a vessel to hold your meats.
Not exactly. That's
Sometimes-
cutting it short.
I don't know.
I made
sometimes helps.
zucchini bread one day and it was not worth the 2 hours total I spent making it and cooking it.
What is that shit called? Cloud bread?
Yeah. Cloud bread.
I've never tried it.
Don't know what that is.
We tried to make it once, but we didn't have a beater.
Yeah.
So it was just
egg whites, right?
and it didn't work. I didn't have
Yeah,
I
there was
it in me.
a lot of stirring and I was like, I should get a KitchenAid or something. But then I'm like, those are way expensive just for this dumb shit I'm making.
I had one and then it got stolen
That's fucked.
by
That's
someone
so
on
fucked.
meth. Macomb,
Someone on-
Illinois, everyone.
Well, just
Someone
imagine,
was on you
imagine
guys?
how much meth they can make now with that KitchenAid.
Stirring up my meth.
Just dumping crunch
stole my Easy
berries,
Bake Oven, too.
Lysol, dishwater fluid. Yeah.
They stole my creepy crawler oven.
What was a metal molders? Do you ever have a metal molder?
What is that?
Oh gosh, it was the boy, well, one of the boy Easy Bake Ovens. But you were basically you melted down some kind of metal mixture and were able to pour it into molds.
So is it a
And then,
mini
like,
soul
stir it.
forge?
Yeah, and I have a little wizard man who lives in one of my backpacks still.
Unrelated to the metal molder.
No,
Just a
he's
little
from the
wizard
metal
man.
molder. Anyway, he's the one who told me about metal molders.
He also threw this dust in my face and time changed.
He told me to burn things.
Do you remember Sweet Treat Barbie? She had her own oven.
I didn't know her by name.
I remember because it was they had a song on the commercial and it made it seem like real fucking exciting.
Do you remember the song?
It was to the tune of that one song. Do 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 do. And I was like, "Sweet treat Barbie, take the cake. Show
Yakety
us how to
sax.
decorate."
Whoa.
Yakety yak.
Don't hold the book.
I remember Skipper.
Skipper?
Yeah.
The flat-chested Barbie.
Is it a Barbie?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, it's Barbie's kid sis.
Yeah.
Everyone knows
I
that.
thought she was just saying skip it wrong because I definitely
And I-
remember skip it.
That's what I was
Mhm.
I always thought the name Barbie and Skipper were so fucking stupid. So I was always like, no, you're getting a really cool name like Teresa.
Teresa.
It's the 90s. On the way home from church, we would generally stop and get cookies for the 15-minute drive home. And then we would talk about watching Walker.
Can't wait to see what he gets up to. All right, we'll try something different for this around the campfire.
God.
So
I hate change.
I know.
Walker,
But I love it.
have AIDS.
What's everybody's favorite Walker,
Walker episode.
All right, now
Finally.
of the room is a shut the fuck up, guys. What are you laughing about?
She swallows so
I
loudly.
told him to mute it. I'm just drinking water, but I swallowed it and it was like,
I unmuted it because you kept making quips about what they were saying, and I'm like, "Are you? Do you want to be muted or not?"
Motion you with my eyes that I'm not adding anything of value.
Then don't say anything.
All I was doing was laughing at the hood, which, and then going hood because it was funny. I don't know. It's the most
Anyway.
important. Yes, I'm sorry. Continue. Mute me, please,
So,
for the love of God.
I'm just gonna mute you for the whole episode.
She drew a heart on my hand and she asked if I washed it off, but I said nope, that's just sweat because I'm very sweaty right now.
Doing some chapstick for it.
For
No,
sweat.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Does chapstick work like deodorant?
I don't know.
We're gonna find out though.
It
Feels
tastes
the
like
same.
deodorant.
Someone trying to chapstick their whole armpit.
Using several chapsticks.
Ew.
I like the
just-
strawberry kind.
They rubber band a bunch of chapsticks together.
I feel like twisting them all up at the same time would be really difficult, and then recapping them.
Oh god. They're all it's single use every time. You just bundle like 50 of them together and just burn right through it.
Well,
Done.
that's it for you guys.
Throw it out of your car.
It hits a nearby like elderly person.
I always hope so.